It's a glorious day for racing on one of the world's finest racing circuits. Welcome to the LBC. Welcome to the NTT INDYCAR Series Acura Grand Prix.
Drivers, start your engine!
We have a green flag despite the fact the power is miles behind. Rosenqvist maintains the advantage. Award tries to look around the inside, outside. It will stay as it is. Kirkwood in fourth. A little touch there, though, with David Malukas. But Rosenqvist does exactly what he needed to do and maintains that lead. And look at how much pace and place Will Power has managed to catch up now right on the rear wing of Scott Dixon.
That's a tough move to pull off there. Bold move from Rossi. They got side by side. They played well, but here we go.
Palou looks up the inside of Pato Award, and that is P2 for the four-time champion.
Not wasted any time. Not only is he ahead of Kirkwood, now he's got Pato in his rearview mirrors.
Tell me that he was on me.
Pato, I don't think, had the warning he needed that Palou was coming, but now Pato Award has his mirrors full of the championship leader, Kyle Kirkwood. These four first drivers, remember, the only drivers really in the field today on that soft tire. Here's a replay of the start, and look at that gap. You're right, guys, very odd start.
I'm surprised they threw it, to be totally honest. That was we've seen gaps here. It's tough coming out of that slow 30-mile-an-hour turn 11, getting all the field lined up, but certainly I would have expected more cars a bit closer.
Just wonder if Power's gaming the field a bit, saying, hey, I don't want any trouble in the first corner, and there's a way to guarantee that. Pretend to be a second pull sitter back there. That was so strange. I can't think of another explanation.
Joseph Newgarden pitted from the midfield, took his chances early and rolled the dice. And guys, this, I think, is absolutely fascinating. Our race leader, Felix Rosenqvist, has been running consistently in the 1 minute 9.9s, 109.9, 109.9, 109.9, every lap consistently on that. Joseph Newgarden, 109.5, 109.4, half a second a lap quicker, then a brace over the last 3 laps, 109.0, 109.0, 109.0. He is the fastest driver on track compared to the race leader by a full second a lap right now. He is making hay while the sun shines.
And he needs to, because he's committed now to a 3-stop program. You lose about 40 seconds on pit lane. So if you're going to make 3 stops versus 2, you've got to make up 40 seconds somehow. If you don't get a caution, it's going to have to come on pace on the racetrack. Kev, what can you tell us about Palou?
Well, I know you guys have been interested in what Joseph Newgarden is doing, and his quick lap time's about a second faster than everyone. Alex Palou has also been asking, hey, what's Newgarden doing? You know he's always on top of things. He and Barry Wanzer, his strategists, have been talking back and forth. So Palou has been asking, by the way, also, Barry asked Alex, how are the tires about 2 laps ago, and he said they are good. So he's making the soft Firestones last. Needs to get at least 7 more laps. Ideally, they'd love to get to 29 or 30.
With the pace that we're seeing right now, I don't see why that would be a struggle. They're 10 to go to get to that ideal window.
Let's hear what Felix Rosenqvist has to say about his Firestones.
Felix, we'll go rear bar to P2, rear bar P2. We're just more worried about the left rear than the front.
So that's an instruction from Meyer Shank Racing to Felix Rosenqvist to soften up, more than likely, the rear anti-roll bar. What that does is allow that suspension, as we see it working so beautifully right now, work independently with a little less resistance. That roll bar helps the car from rolling over too much. If it's stiffer, if it's softer, it lets the suspension be a little bit more compliant. So you lose some stability and a little bit of sharpness in the handling, but you gain more compliance, which allows the rear tire to hopefully last just a little longer. But let's talk about the pressure that is now going to be placed on Felix Rosenqvist's race team as we're about 5 laps from pit stops. The spotlight goes to the men and women on pit lane. This team has only ever won 1 race. It was a big one, the Indy 500, but look at who they're up against as we're about to make the first pit stops. That is where that Team Penske, the Ganassi, the Andretti advantage might come to bear. Rosenqvist has to be thinking about his team on pit lane, and hey, guys, I'm doing everything I can, but I need your help.
Slide back while it's in the hollow. Good job here. 8.5 seconds to the back of the field.
right about when you catch them, they're all going to start pitting. So just get what you can get as they start to pull off. You're 1.5 to 1.2 seconds faster than anybody on track right now.
This could play out beautifully.
And it's just such a beautiful thing for a driver to hear. You're given this fresh set of softs, this open racetrack, and your strategist comes on and says they're going to pit right when you catch them, and you're 1.2 seconds a lap faster. Newgarden is in the zone right now.
He is, but it's going to be interesting when that fast race car gets to other cars on track. To make a three-stop work, you have to pass cars. That'll be the challenge, but Newgarden delivering perfectly right now on this three-stopper.
And here you can see it so far. They've been strong on pit lane. They were the third best on pit lane, and Barber, they're going to have to be all of that and then some. Both cars are in.
Both coming in together. Georgia is waiting for Felix Rosenqvist.
Felix Rosenqvist has been hitting his marks all weekend long, and now it's time for the pit crew to do the same. He's reached them. They're going to go for their second set of soft tires. A little small front wing adjustment, but overall they're going to fill it up with fuel to try to make it.
And Alex Palou has to go around the David Malukas tires. He's coming in right behind him. The Shell 100% renewable fuel. Rosenqvist is going to win that race up pit road. It's softs for Palou. He's out.
Softs for Palou, softs for Rosenqvist, and Rosenqvist and MSR have done a beautiful job to keep that position ahead of Alex Palou.
That's what we were saying, guys. The 10 crew actually hasn't been one of the quickest on pit lane so far this year, but Rosenqvist's team has been getting better every single race so far in 2025. And to your point, T-Bell, up against these organizations that have won hundreds of races in some cases, to a team that's just done it once, great performance.
So that top four, all of them on the softs. They've all pitted. Will Power now leads in the TWG Honda. Joseph Newgarden making his way up as well. As Joseph Newgarden, a two-time champion, leads this race by almost 15 seconds. He is at the moment still, and this is the incredible thing, despite the fact those behind him now have come in and changed for fresh soft tires, Newgarden on 20-lap old soft tires remains over a second faster than anyone else in the field, and he will have to be. He will have to be, because he has to make up an additional pit stop in relation to everybody else, and that is about 40 seconds. So he has to keep pushing. This is going to be an entire race of qualifying laps for Joseph Newgarden.
That's why it's going to be so physically exhausting. Newgarden's got to try to find about another 20 seconds of gap on this stint to make that extra pit stop. Meanwhile, the rest of the field, we think all on two-stoppers, Rosenqvist, Palou, Kirkwood, etc., should be able to go to around lap 60, 62.
Because remember, when he pit from 12th position, he was running right behind Christian Lundgaard in the number 7 machine. And if you look at it right now, Lundgaard there is about 28 seconds behind Newgarden. So he needs another 10 seconds just to be net above of where he was before he pit.
It's a tall order.
It's a big order. He's having more fun than the guy running on the two-stop, but
until he sees the results,
he'll be disappointed when the time the time the checkered flag falls.
It's Joseph Newgarden wringing the neck of that Astemo Chevrolet round the hairpin, and chooses now to come into the pits. Lap 37 for Joseph Newgarden. Needs a clean stop to make this strategy work. Kevin Lee, this is a bold roll of the dice for Penske today.
And I'm a bit surprised. Just a lap before, they said a few more laps, use efficient overtake, meaning trying to go as fast as you can. And from when Rosenqvist pit, as we see him go from a set of softs to, are those red sidewalls? It's a bit of a glare. Those are softs again. He had gained 4 seconds from about a 12-second lead to 16 seconds. So he's fast. What he needs is a caution to come up pretty soon that might make some others go ahead and stop and bail on their two-stop strategy.
Yeah, interesting thing for Newgarden right now as he comes out just ahead of Marcus Armstrong and will try to defend. Armstrong gets past him. Brand new sticker softs for Joseph Newgarden. He will be lighter on fuel because he is attempting to do the 3-stop, everybody else on the 2-stop. The big question, though, now for him is, can he pass with a slightly lighter car? He is in traffic, whereas before he was in clean air. It is a completely different scenario that now faces Joseph Newgarden. He was a second faster than the field when he was in clean air at the front. As he looks up the inside and sends it late, locks up the left front. Will he make it through? He does. What a really brave move from Joseph Newgarden.
Barely.
On the push to pass down shoreline, he's got fuel to burn. That's the big difference. Everyone else here has got to save fuel. They got to hit a number, but Newgarden able to be full tilt, full rich on the button. Wow. I wonder if he's got a flat spot. That's a big lockup, T-Bell.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge vibration for Joseph Newgarden, potentially so violent that your vision is blurred.
Chasing down Kyle Kirkwood as we see Marcus Ericsson retiring officially from the race. A full hybrid failure is what we're hearing from pit lane, and it's a real shame. That's not a component that the teams are allowed to really adjust or monitor, I should say, touch. It's a spec part.
But for the probability to hit the team twice in the same day, Kirkwood and now Ericsson, utterly bizarre as Malukas head down trying to make some progress on Kyle Kirkwood there. That battle for third position. So we're at lap 45. Should be about 15 more laps until the next round of stops.
You can see the flat spot. Look, oh, he's flat. The flat spot was so bad, it's actually burst the tire. Kevin, he's going to have to come and get that change. It's all come undone for Newgarden.
And they've been monitoring this for a little while. There was a concern that you guys spotted about a flat spot. They asked him, do you need to pit? He said, let's wait a lap or so. He's dealing with a vibration, but Jonathan Duguid, his strategist, Team Penske president, just said, you're running a half a second faster than some of those around you, so let's stay out. We've got to get to lap 60 or we're in even more trouble. So for now, they will continue on.
14 more laps then for Joseph Newgarden with the mother of all flat spots on his left front.
They were running about a second and a half, maybe 1.3 seconds apart for a majority of that first stint. And Felix has kind of been consistently able to keep it over 2.5 seconds. Let's hear a little bit about what our leader is saying from behind the wheel.
The rents are better, huh? But we don't have a choice. We have to get our blacks in it. We have to go blacks next Saudi. So does everyone else we're racing with.
So there you go. He also prefers the softs, which is exactly what Alex Palou didn't want. So this is going advantage Palou. Rosenquist would love another set of softs. He says it's better for fuel saving. Meanwhile, Palou behind says, I don't want to finish on the softs. I want my preferred tire. That's the hard. So this could still swing the other direction.
And as a technical partner, Felix Rosenquist's team with Chip Ganassi Racing, Alex Palou's team, Rosenquist knows all too well how strong Alex Palou is on the harder tire. Over the last couple of seasons, that's where he has really differentiated himself from the field. So that 2.3 second lead is looking marginal right now if I'm Felix Rosenquist, knowing how they're going to finish on tires.
In a minimum of 3 laps time, and we have debris on the track.
That is
right
a
on the racing line.
large piece of carbon. Could easily cut a tire down.
Yeah, it's all right.
And
big
we have
safety issue, and we get a caution there.
Yeah, absolutely the right call there from race control. That could cut a tire, that could kick up, end up in the grandstands even. So great call there. It looks like the kind of part that goes underneath the gearbox underneath.
Yeah.
The attenuator that may have come off, maybe some contact in the fountain from 2 cars running close together. Race, but let's see who it's coming off of.
And what this is going to do.
Was it off of Rossi's car?
Yeah,
well, no, it was already
ran
there.
over it.
Yeah, I think if it didn't come off of Rossi kind of brought it onto the racing line.
What this will do, of course, is stack the field up in the window for their final pit stop. So whatever breathing room Felix Rosenquist and Meyer-Shank Racing thought they had, it is eliminated. It'll be a straight up shootout on pit lane for the win of this race.
I'll tell you who this really, really is good for, David Malukas. In a Penske, they're so good on pit lane. He's going to be one of the only drivers at the front going to that soft tire for a restart with the last stint of the race.
Yeah.
This could really be playing into Little Dave's hands.
How many come in? Will any stay out? Georgia, the race leader, is coming to you.
They all come to pit lane. This is going to be a dogfight to the end as Felix Rosenquist makes it in. He has to make it around Santino Ferrucci's crew. He has to satisfy and use those last set of Firestone hard tires, but he's going to have a clear outbeat with Ericsson retiring today. Jack.
7 of Kyle Kirkwood is in. He's actually already left. There's going to slide bubble. That is tight on exit. Kevin.
Up at the front, Alex Palou has the preferred pit location. David Malukas right behind him. It's a race up pit road, and Palou might just have barely beaten Rosenqvist out. It is tight.
He has. Malukas has dropped a huge amount of time, but look at Scott Dixon up into third. It is Alex Palou who gets ahead of Rosenqvist. A boulevard of broken dreams for Rosenqvist, who exits the pits in second. Palou takes over the lead of this race behind the safety car, still under caution. Turn one. Felix Rosenqvist aiming to get back the lead that he lost in the pits, but Palou's had a wonderful start. Rosenqvist is second, Dixon is third, Kirkwood fourth, O'Ward fifth, Power is sixth, and Palou maintains that lead as Power looks up and on the inside.
That's defending.
Yeah, it is, of McLaughlin.
Defending for McLaughlin, who got a great launch off at turn 11. Power, just like the original start, T-Bell, a little bit slow out of 11. Manages to keep his former teammate behind.
David Malukas right there to try to pounce on his teammate McLaughlin and make up some of the spots last on that last pit stop exchange. But yeah, strange for Power out of 11, like you said. He's now up to speed as Palou 1 second clear of Rosenqvist. And if you're Felix Rosenqvist, you've got to feel for him on that yellow. He had it all there, the gap, the comfort zone for his crew, and just horrible luck.
12 to go on the streets of Long Beach. Palou still leads Rosenqvist. Dixon, though, can find no way through his semi-stable mate. Kirkwood is fourth, O'Ward is fifth, McLaughlin is sixth, and if it stays like this, guys, Carl Kirkwood will drop 17 points behind Alex Palou in the title battle. Incredibly, David Malukas will move up to third in the Drivers' Championship.
There was a great pass during the break. Kiffin Simpson lining up Louis Foster down in turn one. Foster blocks to the inside, Foster to the outside, and just masterfully clears the right front wing end fence jack. Kiffin Simpson having a really strong day.
Townsend, he's had a really strong weekend right at the start of the race. I kind of felt like he was my spotlight driver to watch, and he has done fantastic. Taylor Kyle on the pit stand was telling me he was really happy with the car. They lost a few spots in that pit sequence just because of how snug it is in pit lane, but Kiffin absolutely getting it done on track again.
I mean, you look at his teammates, Alex Palou and Scott Dixon, James arguably the fastest team on the racetrack. There's every reason to think that with 11 to go, Kiffin Simpson might give Alexander Rossi a hard time to break in to the top 9.
You just can't give him a clear run.
They had him. They had him buried in second.
And as soon as he gets that clear track, for example, when he stays out and everyone else jumps into the pit, that's when he makes his move. That's when he takes his moment. Here today, couldn't do anything. Pitted behind Rosenqvist, he gets out in front, bam, it's done.
We said it last race out in Barber. Lundgaard, the guy on your screen right here, in that orange number 7, he was giving the 10-car run for their money. That last pit stop, a bobble in pit lane, gave it clearly to Palou. Clean sailing from there. Here, you had Rosenqvist in front, bobble in pit lane, put the 10 in the position to win. Palou beats the field as often as the people in this field beat themselves when they're trying to take down one of the greatest drivers of the generation. It is so tough to beat him. They're so in their heads when they're close that these little mistakes creep in, and if there's a little mistake, the 10 team will pounce.
That's all he needs. That little chink in the armor. Because there doesn't appear to be one for Palou and for that 10 crew.
The other end of the field, brutal day there for Will Power as he fights back from that penalty on pit lane, trying to get through the traffic.
Just shows you how difficult it is to pass. Power quick, started up in 7th place, struggling to get through traffic near the back. He's the last running car on the racetrack.
And if Palou needed any more help on that full course caution, I mean, he's right at the end of pit lane. He had the clear launch. He had no drama, nobody to go around. Meanwhile, Rosenqvist and his team had to deal with that. It's just all those little things. The stars continue to align when the chips are all on the table. And for Alex Palou's team, they can only smile, and Barry Wanzer knows just another masterful job executing.
Very much up for grabs.
We think back to Arlington, think back to the move that Kirkwood made under braking at the final corner to take the win away from Alex Palou. Can he play something similar on Scott Dixon here to take the final place on the podium away from Palou's teammate, Scott Dixon?
You see that difference there in push to pass. That's going to be a huge advantage for Kirkwood as they head into these final few laps. Kirkwood would love to just stay as close to Palou as possible, stay in touch. Right now, he's the only driver so far this season that's finished in the top 5 at every round. That consistency, so important when you're fighting for a championship.
And when you think consistency, you also think best worst finish, which Kirkwood also owns in this championship. High percentage decision making, but going back to Arlington, that lunge on Alex Palou to win the race, that did not seem high percentage at all at the time. The question I have is, how patient is Kirkwood going to be with Scott Dixon? Does he go for another late, big, optimistic lunge to get on the podium?
Dixon reacts. Fastest driver on track right now, 0.3 of a second quicker than Rosenqvist ahead of him. Half a second quicker than Kirkwood behind. So Dixon clearly still has some speed left in him.
Dixie is so good at using push to pass for 1 or 2 second increments off of the corners, just to keep that distance just far enough that even if Kirkwood tries to do a full pull on push to pass, he's a little too far behind. We're coming to 2 to go. We're 2.5 laps to go at this point. With 80 seconds, if he's got the fuel, which is the important thing here, Kirkwood needs to start spraying and praying that he catches up to the back of Scott Dixon. But when you use push to pass, you use a lot more fuel. And these guys pitted with that caution right on the limit of where you need to be for a full stint. So maybe he's having to be a little bit conservative on the button because he's got to save that fuel.
They pitted on lap 59. The ideal would have been 60 or beyond. So they may be marginal, but with 2 to go, Kirkwood has been on the button, depleted from 82 to 78. Dixon up and down, I should say, to 16 seconds left on that push to pass. Can Kirkwood find one more place? Can he find that little boost in points just to help him?
2 full push.
There you go, the order comes from Brian Herta, full push. You've got the gas. You've got the grip on Scott Dixon, but you have to find the spot to make the move. Dixon, if there's a hard part of running the softs, it's this final lap of the stint. This is where you would expect the harder tire to have an advantage. Just like Alex Palou has shown over this last stint, 4.6 seconds to the good as he rounds the hairpin to see the white flag.
Last lap of the race here in Long Beach.
Biggest prize in motorsports is the Indy 500. He's got that one. Second biggest prize in IndyCar is the Long Beach Grand Prix. He's just 1 lap away, less than 2 miles between him and yet another victory on the season.
James, you won here with a view like this last lap where you know you've got a gap, you've got a chance to breathe. Do you take in the view? Do you take in the SoCal vibes just that little bit more?
It ain't done till it's done, brother. You got to wait till you cross that checkered flag. You can do that on the cool-down lap if you want.
What a run it has been for Alex Palou, for Chip Ganassi Racing. Guys, 30 years ago at this circuit, Chip Ganassi won for the very first time with Jimmy Vasser. Alex was told this weekend, you know, Jimmy's here. He's going to be watching. Alex's retort, I guess I'd better win then.
Jimmy won yesterday as a team owner with his Lexus team. Today, Alex Palou doing it for Chip Ganassi.
One of the few tracks on this calendar on which Alex Palou had not yet won. He will right that wrong today. Alex Palou returns to victory lane and to the championship lead. Victory for Alex Palou.
Let's go! Thank you, boys.
Rosenqvist home in second place. Siegel defending.
Oh boy.
And this is a wild battle to the close. Defending his place from Rinus VK, who has a look up the inside. Newgarden almost collects the back of him. There is slight contact between Newgarden and VK as they all fight over the line. But it's Palou from Rosenqvist. Dixon from Kirkwood, Award from McLaughlin, Malukas, Rahal, Rossi and Simpson are your top 10.
And James, we saw the same thing. Rossi and Rahal side by side at the line as Rahal just eked it out. Top 8 finish there as Barry Wanzer fist bumps the crew. They've done it again.
As he rises from his car to celebrate, Alex Palou, a winner, finally on the streets of Long Beach.